Attention. Welcome to the Different Spectrums podcast. We dive into the wild world of mental health discussions. Get ready for profound talks, a sprinkle of humor and sarcasm, and a touch of colorful language. Just a quick heads up, our show reflects our individual opinions, which may not align with the standpoint of the podcast, our featured guests, or any related corporate entities. Our mission? To illuminate through laughter and satire because everyone needs a good chuckle. Chill out and don't stress over the small stuff. Legal troubles? No, thank you. Cancel culture? Please spare us. We'd rather keep this space lawsuit free. So buckle up, have a good time, and join us as we navigate the vibrant realm of mental health on the Different Spectrums podcast. Hey everybody, we back again.
Hello, we're back.
Short and sweet, nice. I'm Spencer, and of course we have our licensed clinical therapist, Nas.
Dr. Nas. Hello, people.
Remember, don't take us too seriously.
Or do. It's completely up to you. Assholes.
Also, don't forget to run up those likes for us. We'd really appreciate it. Shout out to Two Nerds Candle Company, one of our great collaborators.
Well, you said one of our. What? Fuck you.
They have great candles, and then they also give back to women in science, math, the whole shebang. So please go buy some of their products and use our code, which is in the link below. So not only can you give to their company, but then also we can get stuff too.
Yep.
So keep on keeping on. That's all I'm going to say. So go visit Two Nerds Candle Company in our link in the description or in our link tree. So go check it out. All right. So today, obviously, we are talking about Joaquin Phoenix's 2019 Joker. I would run away as fast as I can if I heard you laughing like that. Just so you know. We're going to be talking about a few things, which are therapists, money, society, and also the lore of the Joker.
The baggage.
Yep.
The bodies.
So we're going to take a look at those things. Nas, anything before we get into the show?
Massive trigger warning for the last scene. The scene where he's on the Murray show. So big shit, right? I'm going to let it play. He's talking about, homicide, aka murder. And he's talking about, being hurt. And then it kind of sounds like excuses for him to take out vengeance and hurt other people. And I want to say big trigger warning for that. We're going to let it play. We're going to let the gunshot play as well. When he shoots De Niro in the friggin' eye. We're going to let that run. I want to be very, very, very clear on this. This is a depiction of severe mental health issues. Maybe schizophrenia, schizoaffective disorder. Maybe there's some autism in there. There's a bunch of different things going on. Folks with those issues, disorders, mental illness are not dangerous. The vast majority are usually the ones that are being abused themselves. And so this will be a depiction of someone that is mentally ill, right? And also this comic book character, right? It's all fictional. That is hurting folks, but that is not the case at all. We do not want to portray that at all. And that is factually incorrect if people are like, oh, I need to be scared of this population. That's factually incorrect. When you look at the actual data and you dig down into it. So a massive trigger warning. Also, we want to be cautious in how we talk about this because it's a very serious issue. But we want to talk about some societal stuff and poor folks, marginalized folks, and kind of the anger and vengeance that people kind of have coursing through them every day, the everyday people. So we're going to tiptoe through these tulips and make sure we don't, advocate for any murder. Murder. But yeah, let's get into a pod and let's try not to kill anyone.
Yes.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
That sounded bad.
Yeah, let's try not to. I mean, if it happens, it happens.
Hey everyone, I wanted to give a special shout out to our collaborator, Two Nerds Candle Company. Not only do they have great products, but they are also giving back to a great cause. You can tell that they take a lot of pride in making their candles. My favorite is Spock's Monday Coffee. They are also donating 10% annually to support Women in STEM, which stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics. You can use our code DSP or go to our link tree to get 20% off your entire order. We think that this company is great, and we think you will too. So go check them out.
Is it just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
It is certainly tense. People are upset. They're struggling, looking for work. These are tough times. How about you? Have you been keeping up with your journal?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Did you bring it with you? Arthur, last time I asked you to bring your journal with you for these appointments. Can I see it?
I've been using it as a journal, but also as a joke diary. Funny thoughts or observations. I think I told you I'm pursuing a career in stand-up comedy.
No, you didn't.
I think I did.
I just hope my death makes more sense than my life. How does it feel to have to come here? Does it help to have someone to talk to?
I think I felt better when I was locked up in the hospital.
And have you thought more about why you were locked up?
Who knows? I was wondering if you could ask the doctor to increase my medication.
Arthur, you're on 7 different medications. Surely they must be doing something.
I just don't want to feel so bad anymore. heard this song on the radio the other day. And the guy was singing that his name was Carnival.
Arthur,
Which is crazy. Because that's my clown name at work. Until a little while ago, it was like nobody ever saw me. Even I didn't know if I really existed.
Arthur, I have some bad news for you.
You don't listen, do you? I don't think you ever really hear me. You just ask the same questions every week. How's your job? Are you having any negative thoughts? All I have are negative thoughts. But you don't listen anyway. I said, for my whole life, I didn't know if I even really existed. But I do. And people are starting to notice.
They've cut our funding. We're closing down our offices next week. The city's cut funding across the board. Social services is part of that. This is the last time we'll be meeting.
Okay.
They don't give a shit about people like you, Arthur. And they really don't give a shit about people like me either.
How am I supposed to get my medication now? Who do I talk to?
I'm sorry, Arthur.
I hated school as a kid. But my mother would always say,
You should enjoy it. One day you'll have to work for it.
no, Mom, I'm going to be a comedian.
Okay. You may have seen that clip of our next guest. Now, before he comes out, I just want to say that we're all heartbroken about what's going on in the city tonight. But this is how he wanted to come out. And honestly, I think we could all use a good laugh. So please welcome Joker. Are you all right, Doctor? Well, that was quite an entrance. You okay?
Yeah. This is exactly how I imagined it.
Well, that makes one of us. So can you tell us about this look? When we spoke earlier, you mentioned that this look is not a political statement. Is that right?
That's right, Murray. I'm not political. I'm just trying to make people laugh.
And how's that going for you? So I know you're a comedian. You've been working on any new material. You want to tell us a joke?
Yeah? Okay.
It's got a book. A book of jokes. Take your time. Got all night.
Okay. Here's one. Knock, knock.
And you had to look that up?
I want to get it right. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
It's the police, ma'am. Your son's been hit by a drunk driver. He's dead.
Oh, no, you cannot joke about that.
Yeah, that's not funny, Arthur. That's not the kind of humor we do on this show.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's just, it's been a rough few weeks, Murray. Ever since I killed those 3 Wall Street guys.
Okay, I'm waiting for the punchline.
There's no punchline. It's not a joke.
You're serious, aren't you? You're telling us you killed those 3 young men on the subway?
Mm-hmm.
And why should we believe you?
I got nothing left to lose. Nothing can hurt me anymore. My life is nothing but a comedy.
Well, let me get this straight. You think that killing those guys is funny?
I do. And I'm tired of pretending it's not. Comedy is subjective, Murray. Isn't that what they say? All of you, the system that knows so much, you decide what's right or wrong the same way that you decide what's funny or not.
Well, okay, I think I might understand that you did this to start a movement, to become a symbol.
Come on, Murray. Do I look like the kind of clown that could start a movement? I killed those guys because they were awful. Everybody is awful these days. It's enough to make anyone crazy.
Okay, so that's it. You're crazy. That's your defense for killing 3 young men?
No. They couldn't carry a tune to save their lives. Oh, why is everybody so upset about these guys? If it was me dying on the sidewalk, you'd walk right over me. I pass you every day and you don't notice me. But these guys, what, because Thomas Wayne cried about them on TV?
You have a problem with Thomas Wayne, too.
Yes, I do. Have you seen what it's like out there, Murray? Do you ever actually leave the studio? Everybody just yells and screams at each other. Nobody's civil anymore. Nobody thinks what it's like to be the other guy. You think men like Thomas Wayne ever think what it's like to be someone like me? To be somebody but themselves? They don't. They think that we'll just sit there and take it like good little boys, that we won't werewolf and go wild.
You finished? I mean, there's so much self-pity, Arthur. You sound like you're making excuses for killing those young men. Not everybody, and I'll tell you this, not everyone is awful.
You're awful.
Me? I'm awful? Oh yeah, how am I awful?
Playing my video. Inviting me on the show. You just wanted to make fun of me. You're just like the rest of them.
You don't know the first thing about me, pal. Look what happened because of what you did, what it led to. There were riots out there. 2 policemen are in critical condition. You're laughing. You're laughing. Someone was killed today because of what you did.
I know. How about another joke, Murray?
No, I think we've had enough of your jokes.
What do you get
I don't think so.
when you cross
I think
a
we're
mentally
done
ill
with your
loner
jokes.
with
That's
a
it.
society that abandons him and treats him like trash?
Call the police,
I'm
Gene.
telling you what you get.
Call the police.
You get what you fucking deserve. Good night. And always remember, that's...
Hey everyone, have you been looking for something to help you when you feel extra fidgety? How about when you have a sensory overload? Well, I'm here to introduce you to the Oh No Fidget Roller. It helps me regulate and also feel at ease. The Oh No Roller comes in 5 different materials, including plastic, aluminum, steel, titanium, and silicone. You can use our code DSP10 to get 10% off your order when you visit onoroller.com and get your roll on. Hey everybody, we back again.
We're back. We're back and we're live. This is live as this 9 billion living organisms that's in my kombucha. This one,
Sponsored by Kombucha.
Sponsored by kombucha. If it tastes like piss, it probably is. If it tastes,
I know that smell. That's straight piss.
this straight piss. If this was hot and I poured it on me, it'd be a great day. Even I got depressed. Even I was like, why?
You just go and showered yourself. Keeps your skin all leathery. All right, here we go.
Jesus. Okay.
So today like I said before, we're going to be talking about the Joker from 2019, but we also wanted to dig a little deep into the lore of the Joker as a whole, right?
Yeah.
So there's this image that we're probably going to put up as I put up a reel or something like that, where it gives like the different Jokers, and then also it has a little bit of a context to kind of who they are, right? So you have the Cesar Romero, which was the Adam West Batman, right? He was the clown, can't get too serious in that show. That was just a wacky 60s, 70s show.
Okay.
Just groovy, man. Groovy.
Okay.
Then you have Jack Nicholson, who's the gangster. Heath Ledger, who's the anarchist. And since this came out before this movie, you have Jared Leto as the psychopath. And then also you have Mark Hamill as the Joker from the cartoon series.
Yep.
Yes, a lot of great Jokers. Just one in particular, not so great. Not so great. We all know which one it is. I don't have to say it.
The one from Gotham, the ginger, he's actually pretty good.
Jesus. You're the problem with society right now.
I'm the problem.
You're the problem.
It's me.
Ginger. Why do you think he became the Joker, man?
It's the kid from Shameless. He's pretty creepy with it. Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Yep.
It felt like he was trying to go. His voice was just weird for me. Like it felt like he was trying to do a Heath Ledger impersonation
It kind of felt like
with
it.
his voice.
Yep.
It's like, ah, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Let's kill the Batman. Ah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
It felt like he
Yeah.
was trying to get a movie role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, I could be the next one. It's like,
No.
stick to Star Wars, my dude.
Yep.
Stick to Star Wars.
Stick to the video game.
Yes. Um, but a little bit of context. So, when it comes to the Joker, um, we didn't really know his origin stories until about 1988 when the graphic novel came out called The Killing Joke. Um, because even in the Heath Ledger one, he would lie and make up like different stories of his past,
Yeah.
like his father cut his face. Oh, he cut his face because his wife, was also like had facial problems or something like that, and she was cut up, so he did it to himself. You know, don't know his past, whatever. But then once this novel came out by Alan Moore, who also wrote V for Vendetta, he
Hmm.
did that one, and then also he did The Watchmen.
Oh.
So he's very well, like he's like one of the best written like graphic novelists ever, probably. So he made this, and the origin story of the Joker here was more of he was a failed comedian who needed to support his pregnant wife or girlfriend. And so he gets into it with these mob guys, and they try to rob his old like plant that he used to work at. And then he fell into the like a vat of chemicals, and then he became the Joker, right? Um, in a way similar to what we kind of see here in a way of like a comedian desperate, but he's just failing at it. Um, and also kind of like that nothing is going right for him at all. Like nothing can. Um, Great graphic novel. It's a little there's some explicit things in there, so look out. And then he also, like paralyzed Barbara Gordon in that one. And yeah, like I said, gets a little graphic, so just kind of, be wary of that.
Yeah. Trigger warning.
But yeah, through all the iterations of Joker, this one is different in the fact that it's a lot more, I guess, we see the Joker as like a lot more sad and a little bit more depressing, right?
Yeah.
Through all the other ones, he's like a murderer, anarchist, all this stuff. But there's like some twinge of like cartoony in there, right? No matter what it is. It just feels like it's not like a regular person. It doesn't feel like it feels like somebody who's above like all these other people, that they're on the same level as Batman and all this stuff. But for this one, it just feels like it's a lot more realistic. And unfortunately, I think a lot of people can kind of be related to this version of Joker, in the fact of just being isolated, also not being able to do anything with their life, you know? Um, Nobody's really listening to him. Nobody really cares what he has to say. He's jobless. He was abused as a child. A lot of things are happening. And then, then nobody really understands who he is. Um, like I said, this one feels a lot more,
Heavy.
in a way, realistic to the times instead of like all the other Jokers where you're just kind of like, wow, this is a character. Instead, this is like feels like, oh, this is like a person. Like this could be somebody, right? Now, like Nas said before, we're not condoning anything that, um, any type of harming others or anything like that. But at the same time, there are people out there that are just like this, and they feel the same way as Joker does.
Yep.
And, we want to make sure that, we say that, and then also we want to make sure like those people get a lot of help as well.
Yep.
Because if you feel isolated or anything like that, talk to somebody. Try to talk to
Right.
somebody, before resorting to any of these actions that the Joker does. So,
Well said. All articulated. Spence, as a
yes.
joke into the seriousness, what would be a funny way to introduce this movie?
Oh my. Have you ever thought? You ever wondered what it feel like to be just a white guy? Just not even like the hoity-toity white, like down in the dirt white.
Down in the dirty white. You ever,
Like, if you're not succeeding as a white man, oof, it's
Yeah.
not good.
if you ever felt like, to be a white man in 2024, it's a woman's world. They're taking over.
Jokes.
Taking our jobs.
Jokes.
Taking our jobs.
All these women taking our jobs.
Should have built that wall.
For the women? Keep them out.
You get this, you stay in the kitchen.
Oh my God.
I know, it's all jokes.
It's all a joke, people. It's all a joke.
Please. Shit, I don't want to work. I don't want to work. I'm staying home. You go to work. I'll stay in the kitchen.
I'm unemployed. It's fine.
I'm unemployed. Let's be for real. That shit has changed these days. It's the dudes that be unemployed and at home. Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Because women have the highest jobs or highest education rates now, graduation rates, all of it is massively changed in the last few years. Sad because it's because of the financial obligation, what it is now compared to before. But women are taking over, which is quite wonderful and awesome because now they're still way down low compared to all the men that run the show.
Yeah. Also kind of like trying to find a job.
Yeah.
We want someone who is light spoken, pale skin. Also, it sucks sometimes. It does, because it's just, we've talked about it many times, but we also have to change ourselves to become that. And you know what? Women had to do that too. They also had to change themselves.
Everyone has to change.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
work, for a job.
Gender politics and race politics play into everything. At the end of the day, people will not agree with this, but white supremacy will play into everything. And you will have to assimilate or not get the job. And so you will have to act a certain way. And a lot of jobs now, it's better to be more empathetic, kind, vulnerable, right? Many good things that we feminize. But then some, like you, like I, like many other masculine individuals, might be judged very quickly. And because of my massive size, they're like, oh, he's going to be toxic. And then they talk to me like, oh, you're a teddy bear. And I'm like, yeah. Not all big people are assholes. Not all brown people are assholes.
Right.
It gets very interesting, the job market. But I just wanted to make some jokes about this because it's not just white folk that are feeling down and out. There's a lot of folk that feel like this.
True.
A lot of folk. True. There's actually the joke, before we get into it, the joke where they're like, that one white kid in your class. And you're like, you always be nice to that one white kid in class because one day he might shoot that motherfucker up.
It's true, but it's so real. It's so real.
It's so real,
It's like, hey Timmy, how you doing? High five. There we go.
Hey, you good, man?
There we go. Am I on the list?
Am I on the list? Like the little guy in there. He's like, you were always good to me. Kisses him on the head.
Yeah.
When he lunged at him, I was like, ah.
Don't get him. Yeah, that was so sad when he tried to reach up for that lock. He was just like, dude, can you help me out?
Bro, I died inside. I was like, no, he's going to murder him.
But no, he was just like, you know what? You were always nice to me. Bye.
Moral of the story for this entire movie, I'm being for real here, but also sarcastic. Be fucking nice to people.
Yeah.
Jesus, just be nice to people. Be kind and just, there's so many backstabbing and two-faced and insulting and slurring and not understanding where people come from. And you're wrong, you're going to hell. And it's like, okay, you're a Satanist. I don't know. I mean, I studied biology once. Like, wow, okay.
Okay.
Uh,
Satanist.
and also, if you are, a different section of that stuff, I'm not thinking you should go to hell or die immediately either, because that's horrible. That's genocide. That's eugenic. I'm not doing that. So could we just be kinder? Could we be more patient? I know we're not going to do it, but Spence, like you said, do you see what's going on out there?
It's getting crazy.
It's getting crazy out there, man. And this was shot technically way back, in the 80s? Maybe 70s, 60s? When does this show take place?
So it should take, I believe, in the 70s
70s.
is when I want to say it's the same. It looks more 70s than anything else,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, and this was pre-COVID, so
Well, yeah, this is
what a time.
2019. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like the way it's set, yes. But at the same time, I'm also like, damn, did he know what's about to happen?
I know, because everything popped off in 2020, 2021.
Yeah. So
I was just trying to make connections to that, just saying, like, if you think it was crazy then, my God, people hate each other now. People hate us.
Yeah.
Yeah. People hate us. I've been told to die, to go kill myself, to be in a vat of acid. I've been told, yeah, they said, I hope you die in a vat of acid.
Jesus Christ.
I literally responded like, what the fuck? I couldn't even like hate on it. I just laughed, because I was like, that's interesting. We've been hated for being too liberal. We've been hated for being too kind and empathetic. We've been hated for being too empowering for women and queer folk. We've been hated for talking about autism, and we've been hated about being too dudeish. So we suck at everything. And, if I was actually to listen to it, I'd be like, fuck, maybe killing myself is the right choice, because I fucking suck.
And that's kind of like our problem here is like, and exactly the last scene that's talked about is like society really kind of makes sure like what is funny, what's not, what's okay, what isn't. And it's just like you could go crazy just thinking about going back and forth of what I should be and everything like that. I thought we were over that shit in high school of what I should be. Being told especially what I need to be in order to be, cool and all of that.
Yep.
But yeah, and I'm just telling everyone right now, we're not fucking changing. All right.
Nope.
It's not happening. No. I don't care what you think about this show. We're being ourselves.
We gotta have fun.
This is how it's gonna be.
We gotta have fun.
We can't make it all serious. If you want all serious therapy talk, either go to a therapist yourself or go check out a show. Because
hey, girl, you need therapy, girl. You don't need no podcast.
Maybe they do. Honestly, let's be real. They might.
There's a lot coming out of there.
Yeah. Like I'm sorry, I'm not going to be posting a paragraph comment under a video. For one podcast. Not going to happen.
There you go. So
yeah.
It talks about, I wanted to make that point too, Spence. So we're going to jump into scene 3 then. Fuck it.
Yeah.
So scene 3 is right here on the Murray show. We're going to go out of order. And we showed that specifically because of him being made fun of. Him being bullied, him being manipulated into being there. And he's smart enough to be like, hey, I know what's going on. He's taking it in and playing the role. He's assimilating. And then Murray keeps jabbing at him. And you see the Joker. Side eye him. Oh, okay, bitch. Oh, you got something coming. Okay. I was going to kill myself, but I got something special for you. 38.
Great revolver.
Yeah.
Watch out now.
And he keeps jabbing at him and jabbing at him. This is what society does. They keep grinding you down until you feel like you're nothing. You're nothing. And he says, you know what's fucking wrong? He's like, it's you people. You people judge everything. You know how everything's supposed to work. You set all these rules and expectations. Everyone's supposed to fit. And then he said, yeah, I killed those guys. Don't condone any murder. Don't condone any violence or hurting others. People know I don't fuck with that shit. But he said, what if it was me on that floor? Dead. You wouldn't have give two. You would have walked over me, you sons of bitches.
Mm-hmm.
But it's these 3 white guys, 4 white guys, and they all flew in their wall and they got degrees. Their lives mean more.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder where we've heard that, where your lives wear more. That's a lot of racism shit there, socioeconomic stuff. Oh yeah, maybe that's Arab stuff that's going on now. Their lives ain't worth nothing. It's only 40,000 dead, mostly children. It don't mean nothing. Native Americans, they don't mean, America, 3/5 of a person, black folk, that don't mean nothing. So it's interesting, like who calls the shots on whose life is worth more.
Right.
So obviously, there's 3 versus like 1, but still, he's trying to make the point is that because I'm poor, because I have mental illness, because I'm different, because I'm a clown as a job, I mean nothing. And that is how much of America feels.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of folks, they can hide in their big buildings and this and that and their money and the political folks and the CEOs and, But are you actually seeing what's going on in the world? Are you seeing the sadness? Seeing the hunger? My father just told me about this 180 billion they're getting ready to give to these other countries. But we got homeless folks all over our country. Tuition is skyrocketed. People can't pay their fucking houses. Businesses have closed everywhere. People have lost everything in America, but folks can't get help. I'm not even mentioning the immigrants that are coming in here legally and illegally. But what are we doing with them? We could use a lot of money, but we don't ever give it to our own people. It's interesting. It's really, and they wonder why people grow up violent, angry. Not saying it's acceptable for that violence, but I'm saying it couldn't be understood. My father said something the other day. He said, "Do you want to know why there's you hate certain cultures? Why there's terrorists? Imagine you're a child and you see your whole family, your whole nation get blown to smithereens. You're probably going to hate everything the rest of your life. It's going to militarize you. It's going to fuck you up." And I was like, "You're right. You're gonna believe that America, these other countries are the ones, the horrible ones.
Mm-hmm.
No one thinks they're the villain. No one thinks they're the villain in the story. They always think they're the good guy. It sucks to know that there's so many people, like Spencer said, this is such a real movie. I told him, I was like, this is fucking just depressing, dude. This is the worst trauma story for a client that I could probably ever witness."
Mm-hmm.
And Spencer can get into this here in a second, but I mean, he was adopted by this woman that neglected him, that beat him. Her partner beat him, probably abused him in other ways too. Spencer said she forced him to be happy all the time. And so, right, you said that.
That's why she always calls him happy.
And what did you said that forced him to?
Well, I'm assuming that just the trauma of everything, and then also on top of that, telling to be happy, made him like develop that laugh, like when everything is uncomfortable. So then he's always technically happy, right?
Good catch. I forgot about the laugh. See, that laugh is super creepy. So is that laugh, was that like a neurological thing, that laugh in any of the other movies or shows? They all had a laugh, but not like this Tourette laugh.
From what I remember, no. This was like the only iteration where it was like a neurological thing and like kind of it was uncomfortable. But then we also don't really see any backstory a lot from the Joker,
Yep.
except for that killing joke situation that I said before.
Yep.
And he actually makes other people laugh forcibly by doing his laughing gas and stuff like that.
Yep.
Right?
I remember the laughing gas.
And so now they flipped it, and now he's the one that's like forcibly laughing all the time, even against his will. But then, like I said before the show, I was like, as the movie goes on, that forcible laugh is going away. Like he's laughing by himself. He's getting more into his inner self, which is the Joker, right?
Yep.
He's starting to become himself instead of like this person that everyone wants him to be. He's finally becoming that little shadow inside of him. And as you can tell, like when he kills somebody, he starts dancing and stuff like that, right? That could be like that inner self just finally coming out, but through dance.
Probably it's got something to do with feeling powerful. Probably it's a lot of anger in individuals. So I talk to folks of color all the time, folks that are in poverty, folks that have been in gangs and stuff like that. And we talk about it all the time. Folks that have been abused by their parents all the time, how angry they are, how they're yelling at their partners now. And then the worst fear is becoming their parents or the people that abuse them. And I said, my mentor told me this. He said, we don't even fucking know why we're angry. But you grow up with all this societal bullshit and poverty, and you don't see people that look like you that are teaching, and the food is poor, and you ain't sleeping good, and you got lead in your fucking water and in the paint, and they wonder why you're mad. You see all these people driving shit, and you can't have nothing, and you probably won't graduate, and they wonder why you're mad. They wonder why it courses through you, why you can't hold a conversation without putting on your masculinity and beating someone's ass. Because you're so sick of getting beat all the time, then you figure I might as well start beating someone. I'm going to start taking control and whooping ass. And that's what we see in the Joker. It doesn't matter what race, right? Because I'm talking about black and brown bodies that I grew up around myself. You're just angry because you ain't got nothing. And you know that it was taken from you. And then you manifest it into black folks having everything taken. Their country, their bodies, their humanity. Natives, we've already talked about it. Now we can talk about queer folk these days, and things are stripped from individuals, plus all the other marginalized identities. You can see why people be angry. So now there's a reckoning. There's a reckoning because folks of color and marginalized identities and queer folks, and they're starting to get some rights now, and they're starting to get some jobs now. And now you got these white folk like, hold up now. They call it the white lash. Instead of a backlash, it's the white lash where they come back. And that's not from me. That's from
Sure.
Van Jones from CNN.
No.
The black, and most people hate him because he's kind of a race traitor. But he ebbs and flows wherever the money goes. But
I'm over here now.
Yeah, I've been traded to the white delegation.
No.
They traded his ass a couple years ago, bro.
We don't want him anymore. We're good.
We're good. You keep him. But yeah, it's a white lash for some of the things that have been going on politically. This clip with him and Murray, very real. Murray. Even the way he says Murray, you just know he's just fucking stewing. Anyone that's ever done you wrong and you're just sitting there waiting your time, okay. You're going to have to be alone one day. You'll have to walk to your car one day. Yeah. Oh, I seen you. I seen you. All right,
also,
I'm done.
Okay, so this is also something that's also correlating with this is that this is also partly from the King of Comedy, which we just did our movie on, where you can actually kind of see a little bit of correlation in there. Instead of Arthur, Robert De Niro, or in the more like trying to make it up role, he's actually the host for the show instead. Yes. So I love that they did that. But then also the character of Arthur and the character in King of Comedy, they both kind of deal with that that delusion. They do it differently.
Yep.
In the sense of he's looking at, I'm going to make it big, while I think still in that realistic part, it's more about for Arthur, it's more, just I just want to end my suffering, I'm pain, just being sad all the time.
Yep.
Yeah. And actually I found out that this was in 81.
81, okay.
Right? Yes. So that was a time, the 80s.
Yeah, interesting times.
AIDS, you have Reagan, you got crack epidemic happening. A lot of things are happening in the 80s.
A lot of racial things going on in the 80s.
That as well. Yes.
A lot of things.
So
Yeah, so that movie that we did on before, right? He actually kidnapped the guy. Pause. Was that King of Comedy based on a true story?
No.
No. Okay, so but he ends up kidnapping the guy, and then he ends up, going to jail for that, and the host, and then ends up doing all this money and comedy and shit.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Doesn't kill the Jerry Lewis character.
Yeah.
Just kidnaps him and then, does his own thing, and then all of a sudden he's big and popular.
There you go. So
yeah.
kidnapping, okay. Murder, bad.
Yeah. Just a little bit of kidnapping.
I'm
A little bit.
gonna give him back.
I swear I will. Just I need to get on the show.
I ain't kidnapped. I borrowed him.
I just need him for like a couple hours.
Yeah,
right?
I know. Just a quick phone call. Just a phone call. I do this voice in therapy now.
Yeah, I bet you do.
It's what you need. And they're like, "Where did your neck go, sir?"
Where'd your neck go? Are you from the South?
It's in my back.
No.
I like all types of shrimp.
I have shrimp.
Yep.
Coconut shrimp.
Bubblegum
Steamed
shrimp. Sea shrimp. Cauliflower shrimp. You got your black shrimp,
Right,
your white shrimp.
Bubba.
Yep.
Shrimp.
Pickle shrimp. We have to do Forrest Gump and talk about autism. We have to.
Haven't.
I know. Okay. Let's
quote my favorite Robert Downey Jr. quote.
Visit in the
You know what it is.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it.
Let's not. Yeah, let's not do that.
Never go full.
Never. Let's backtrack it.
Yeah.
First scene is with a therapist.
Yes.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you, but I'm gonna let the non-therapist talk about this. Not necessarily talk about what feels weird about this scene. What feels not therapist-y, because you've seen my offices.
Right.
You know the vibe. You know what kind of goes on. You know the conversations. Did that feel like a therapist or a therapist office? What was going on there?
I felt like more like an accountant's office than anything. Did not feel therapeutic. You just have papers everywhere, files on the desk, just piling up. Didn't feel like he wanted to go there. Felt like more he was forced to go there.
Yeah, it felt
Like
mandated.
Yeah. And especially since we see they went to like Arkham Hospital before. But yeah, that whole thing just, and then she looks in the fucking notebook, sees all the stuff in there, and it's just like, I'm gonna give you this back, and
You're free to go.
yeah, hey, you're on 7 medications. This probably isn't a problem. Making disturbing drawings and stuff. It's fine. It's all good.
I hope my death makes more sense than my life. I'm like, so we're not gonna have
and
any.
then she smirks a little bit.
No follow-up questions or no treatment plan, no suicide prevention.
Nope, she's like, that's pretty funny. There you go.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. All right, get out.
Your insurance doesn't cover suicide. So
Jesus
Christ.
Make it look like you were murdered. All right. Then you'll be good.
Yeah, what else was weird about that? Oh my God, the most horrific thing of one of the movie words. He said, you're on 7 medications, guy. What else do you want? He said, I think I need to go up. I've had clients tell me that a million times. Hey man, I need to go up. I need to change. Like, what's going on? And I'm just so sad, man. I'm just so anxious. I can't move. When he just says, I just don't want to be sad anymore. And I was like, he's hurting. The white people hurt too, Spence. They hurt. They got feelings.
It did not come off as like she was a therapist. It came off more of just like an overworked like social worker that like, I can't do anything. Like I can't go past these certain things because the government will not allow me to, or this agency will not allow me to. Yeah.
I think you hit it right on the head. It does not feel like that. FYI, for folks that have been to therapy, or like you think that might have been a version of therapy, but like sitting in an office with all those paperwork. Okay, so it's the 80s. Maybe there's not good, there's not computers and files, but you can't have paperwork for clients out in the open like that. It's confidential information. So that's in cupboards or filing cabinets. I got it in a cupboard.
Our file cabinets were full. Couldn't fit any more file cabinets in there. It was just not going to happen. Hello.
He's sitting across from a desk, and so it's less personable as well. So that's wrong. Not paying attention to shit he says. Doesn't really care. Feels like an overworked accountant. Overworked social worker. So she's from social services, not like a therapy clinic. Back in the day, they used to have those asylums like everywhere and stuff like that. That they disbanded all of those nationwide, and that's when you saw homelessness just skyrocket, because these are severe mentally ill folks, specifically bipolar, schizophrenic, that need medications. Medications are vastly better now than what they used to be. So if he was on 7 back then, he was comatose. There's no way he was like functioning on 7 meds. There's no way. Because they were all going to be mood stabilizers and antipsychotics, which is extreme drowsiness. But besides the point, he just wants to feel better. And I know, Spence, that there's therapists like this. I know it. Because we're all overworked. Social workers, counselors, therapists, psychologists, marriage and family therapists, all of it. Sex, we're all overworked. Specifically social workers. We get some of the hardest fucking shit in cases and all the paperwork. So I'm not blaming her just being shitty, but the context, the money, the finances, what they were in, the societal. Again, society doesn't give a shit about people that aren't producing, that aren't good jobs and all that. He ain't got good insurance, right? He's a clown. They got clown insurance. Motherfucker got the general insurance.
He pulls out a card. It's like a snowflake that's been cut up. Just like, there you go.
Here's what I got.
There's my insurance card. Read as much you can.
I got Obamacare. Yeah, I got the Malcolm X care.
Get that out of here. Just flicks it away. Just get that out of here.
Yeah, we don't accept that, you people. I felt so bad. I was like, he's fucked.
Yeah.
Fucked. So then you get into the second scene, because we're going to mix them together. Stir it up. I love the cocoa. Something in the cocoa. Stir up the cocoa. Okay. Second scene. It was more of the same. It was actually worse. What was different about that scene for you? What did that feel like?
Well, now he's actually, I believe this is after he murders people.
Always a good time.
Yeah. And so now he's a little bit more abrasive, just being like, you don't listen to anything at all. And then she finally opens up and it's just like, they don't care about you. They don't care about me, which is so great to hear. And then he said, oh, and then she's like, yeah, you're not getting your medications anymore. So now you put out a guy who's having all these thoughts, these things, and now he's not even medicated anymore. So now his inner self is really fucking coming out. Yeah.
Fucked up. Yeah. So they shut a lot of things down. This is what happens too when certain political parties take office. They defund a lot of mental health services, a lot of social services, a lot of like, what do they call it? Socialized healthcare. I'm like, motherfucker, it's all socialism. Is capitalism for the poor, socialism for the rich. They get subsidized and all these loans, all these things forgiven and all that. A lot of forgiveness, a lot of loan forgiveness, a lot of bankruptcy. God forbid motherfucker get his medication. God forbid. God forbid it's cost affordable, the medication, and it's not $200 for an inhaler for a little kid with insurance. Right. Sure. And she goes, hey man, they don't give a shit about you. And he said, hey man, I just want to get my meds. And then she tells him, I'm sorry. Yeah. So that would never happen. A social worker would help you find different avenues and places.
She was just like, I can't do it.
Isn't that my problem?
Hey, I'm about to leave, so
You know,
no.
I'm on the same shit you on.
I got about 8 medications. Crazy.
Yeah,
How fucked up it is.
I'm sliding in the butt pill right now.
God damn it.
Well,
Can't go one episode without a butt pill.
it can't go one episode without the butt. You know, it always leads back to the butt. Inappropriate. Inappropriate.
We got piss and we got butt jokes. Here we go.
Pissing off my butt.
Adolescent.
Adolescent. And I was like, we would never just leave someone. If we're transitioning care, there's a process to do that, to make sure that you're advocating and, like, you know, making sure that that client is good and stable. It's an ethical obligation. Even if you are like closing the center down, you're doing your best to connect people with resources. Now, if they can't get connected or they don't follow up, well, that's on them. But you have to like provide things. And when he looks, he goes, so where am I going to get my medications? And I'm like, he about to kill this lady. Why don't I bring that up for a specific reason? He wants to be healthy.
Yeah.
He wants to be a good person. He wants to be happy. But he's doing that. He's going to therapy. He's doing his meds. He's got a job.
Mm-hmm. Well, then he lost his job.
I know, but like, he's doing his best. But the world keeps shitting on him.
Yeah.
Bruh. There are some therapists that don't listen. Most of my clients, they say, what's different than me? I get that I'm a piece of shit and like I should never ever talk because, you know, I'm a horrible person on this podcast. Supposedly that's what they say on the comments. But my clients, they always say, you're different. Well, you call me stupid?
You're just different.
You know, you're a little slow. You're a little slow. I say, what's different? And they said, you just actually care. I said, I don't give a shit about you. I don't say that. Fuck your couch. Shout out to Chappelle.
That was a Dave Chappelle reference for all the white women out there that haven't seen the Chappelle show.
No. Well, he's been canceled, so. Yeah. And they say you actually like care, and it's like, how do you know? I've been asking like my group therapy groups and my individual clients over the last year or so. And they say, man, you remember things, and you bring up stuff. They'll say, I had therapists don't remember shit. You know, my story, my partner. They ask me the same question over and over. What my classes or my major were. They don't remember nothing. And I'm like, Jesus. It might take me a second because I am a little slow. It take me a second. Who are you now? Tiffany?
Huh?
Boy, Tiffany, Black Tiffany. They sit in front of you. So, you might
be two different Tiffany's.
you the white one.
Nope, there you are.
Yep. The other
Tiffany
day.
Rogers. Yep, white one. Got it.
That's it.
Got it.
The way you look at them, the way you perceive them, the way you may affirm and say certain things, the way you strategically try to provide answers and solutions to things. When you contextualize everything at the end of session, they're like, holy fuck, you're listening, because you're giving really good feedback and not just being like, oh, I hear you. That's hard for you. I hear where you're coming from. Okay, you're just parroting some stupid shit they taught you in school. Are you helping them at the end? Are you going full circle?
Was it?
It's like a circle.
There you go.
People say you just listen. I'm like, shit, okay. I'm like, but how do we teach that to other people? Because he says you just don't listen. You ask me, what are my thoughts? You know, and that's what we do. Hey, man, are you suicidal? How's your job? How's your classes? How's your partner? Any major blowups? And then if they say everything's good, then okay. But my thoughts are always bad, fucker. Like, that's why I don't always ask, because they're like, yeah, any suicidal thoughts? They're like, nah. Of course there's suicidal thoughts. Some people freak out about it. I had a kid the other day, man. I was actually, we actually cried together in session the other day. Not about this, but other things. And she goes, I got good news. I said, what's up, kid? What's up? She said, I don't have no more suicidal thoughts. Let's just let go. We did. And I said, what's the bad news? And I'm anxious as shit and I ain't been going to classes. I'm like, God damn it.
Now we got a new thing.
Now
Here
we
we
got
go.
a new thing.
Well, one's better than the other.
One's better than the other. We're going to get you on meds. We're going to continue working. We're going to work through it. But I'm glad that you want to live now. And I said, you know what? I said, we're going to put you in group therapy. They said, I can't do group therapy because I want them to talk to someone more frequently. I want people to talk. If you need more love and support and like care, I want you to talk to someone more frequently in group because therapy at a counseling center it's usually every other week. So every 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And right, the person looks at me and they're like, nah, I can't do it. They actually start freaking out and they're getting really anxious. And I said, it's because people will judge you. And they're like, yeah. And they said, what if I cry in there? And I said, so you're embarrassed too and ashamed and like anxious. They said, yeah. I said, what are you really scared of though? What would you do if they actually loved and supported you and they just lost it, started tanking? Like full on, like, I was like, yep. Because you're so used to people treating you like shit that if someone shows you just a little bit of love, it lets you know how empty you are inside. I love this kid to death, man. But people, man, I can't believe parents will say things to the children. Fuckers. Why would you say certain things to your children? It makes no sense. Repeatedly. Demean them, repeatedly, demean them verbally. It makes no sense. And then they come to my office and you know how hard it is to work with those kids? You know how long it takes to get them to even think that they can fucking exist in this real world? And then they go back home and then the parent goes to the same shit. You're stupid, you're dumb, you're ugly, you're fat. You'll never be good enough. And I'm like, gee, how do I win as a therapist? I can't win. But for those few moments in my office, we can sit in there and we can ride it out. We can have some good laughs and smile and talk. And hopefully I can get them to the finish line to get the fuck out of that house. I'm talking about multiple humans I work with that fit this description. Just why would you call your kids certain things? Why would you allow, like Joker, he adopted him and then you allowed other people to beat him? He said, what did he say, Spence? I've been sad my whole life, Mom.
Mm-hmm.
You keep calling me happy. And Spence said that's why he developed that laugh, because every time he gets uncomfortable, he starts laughing. And I just caught that after you. That makes sense. Forces him. This is a true story of what it's like to go through nothing but trauma in your life. And most folks don't end it, this homicidality. It's usually deep depression and suicidality when you've just been kicked and kicked. This is not a helpful pod when it comes to like joy. You'll go to some of our other pods where we're laughing. This is a heavy movie, heavy show. Good luck to all of you. Bless all of you. Find the people that show you some love. Get you a therapist that actually fucking listens. Get you some friends that actually listens or ask questions. Once again, very thankful for my two best friends, Spence, Colin, wonderful dad, an idiot brother. I'm wonderful for it all. I'm just so thankful for the things that I have. Because when I see things like that, I'm just like, the world is dark, bro.
Mm-hmm.
The world is dark. I just told you my colleague is getting fucking deported. There's so much people suffering. The world is scary. We're lucky, man. Me and you were lucky. Doesn't matter how hard life was. And I know you've been through some shit too, man. We lucky, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Tough story. Love folks that watch this show, but be prepared to watch this. Don't watch this shit when you're already depressed.
Yeah.
This is not.
Yeah.
No, you go watch Heath Ledger, fuck some shit up. He looks like he's having fun.
Yeah.
he having fun. I always
Yay! Blowing up buildings. Woo.
Yeah, I always see him with the detonator in his hand when he's got it in his thumb. Don't go anywhere.
Or when he's walking out as the nurse is everything blowing up, he's just like,
I know. Hey, real quick. One of my clients had one of them dangly earrings in the left ear. I think I'm going to do it.
Why do you want to do that?
It's a pretty motherfucker,
it's
bro.
It's going to get caught on your beard. It's something's going to happen. And you're going to be like, man, fuck that hair.
To rip my whole ear off?
Yeah, pretty much. It's going to be like, well,
I'm going to fry it up. It's a pork rind.
Mike Tyson.
It's a
Here we
pork
go.
rind. All right. Well, I'm done. Yeah. Anything else you want to put on panache about the Joker? You know, I don't know. Did panache mean something, right? Panache?
Why do you say words if you don't know what they mean?
Because I
Why do
wanted
you
to say a
do
bad word, but because I'm slow.
Panache. Isn't that like filling for like something?
But it's a
Like
certain
frosting?
got a certain potassium to it. Potassium.
Oh no. All right. I think we did a good job talking about the Joker. Yeah. We have a few more guests that are gonna be coming up here.
Yeah. We got a lot. Actually, we got 4 or 5 coming up.
Yes. So look out for those. Also, shout out to Logic coming out with his new song called Fear for his long awaited Ultra 85 album. I love the single. It was great to me. I'm also a little, biased there because I love his music.
Yep.
But I loved it. And unfortunately, um, people did not have the same feeling because we had a music video where it had somebody who was a drag queen in there, and it was pretty much just talking about getting over that fear of what people think and stuff like that. It's a great song, but unfortunately, people were like, "Well, this guy's went from talking about gangs to then talking about drag queens. Like this is bullshit." I'm like,
Calm down, bro.
dude's been spreading like his whole thing about peace, love, and
Peace,
positivity.
love,
His whole
positivity. Drugs, alcohol, suicide prevention. Like, dude's been a major fucking advocate of like human rights.
yes, and he's even gotten to be a sponsor for BetterHelp,
Yep.
which is fucking fantastic. And yeah, I love how people just don't understand like his music, and it's like, why don't you talk about the gang shit? He hasn't been in that type of thing for a long time now,
Yep.
and he's doing better for himself. So,
Awesome.
shout out to Logic. I'm going to put this out there right now. One day, we will have him on the show.
One
I'm gonna
day.
say it right now. One day.
One day, I'm gonna give you my cornbread.
With that, I'm Spencer. That's not. This is the Different Spectrums podcast.
All right, everyone. Much love, and remember, take care of yourselves.
Or don't.
And that's completely up to you. Deuces. That's my cornbread. All right.